sermon was from Lamentations, right?
Yeah.
Lamentations is written during captivity. So so I wrote this as I was thinking about what the preacher was saying, at least for some point. I titled it Identity Crisis. And it goes this way. It says this. The Jews heading into captivity bewail of their great fall from grace. In the person of Jeremiah, Israel cries out to God, Eka. How? The promise was theirs. The promise was great. She, Israel, was to be the greatest amongst all the nations, Lamentations 1:1. She was to be called blessed, Malachi 3:12. Her tenths were to be called good, Numbers 24:5. The world was to see her and come to her, Isaiah 60:1-3. The world was to come to her and hold her skirt, and 10 men would take hold of her, out of every tongue, nation, stature, rank. Why? For they have heard that God is with her. That's from Zechariah 8:23. But now they are on hooks. They have lashed backs, their tents are destroyed, their temple is crushed. Now they are the least of all men. The question they ask then, why? Eka. Lord, do your promises fail? Do your promises change? Are you a mighty liar? Prince of the covenant, can we no longer trust you? His response, I know the plans I have for you. Jeremiah 29:11. Because interestingly, Jeremiah 29:11 was actually written. Jeremiah was telling them as they are hooked up on their way to captivity. Like this was not a text during good times. This is a text when God was telling them, I'm taking you to the darkest of hours because I know the plans I have for you. And so I continue. Lord, dark are your ways. I know them not. You are mysterious. Your ways are higher than mine. Isaiah 55:8-9. And so I call this to mind that it is of your mercies, Lord, that I am not consumed. For great is your faithfulness. And so it is good, O Lord, that I should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. That's verse 9 of Isaiah. That's a different text. It has been so long, now listen to this next part. It has been so long in captivity, we don't remember the promises of God. At least not all of us. We are so acclimatized to life in Babylon that we can't see a greater ideal, a greater purpose, a greater promise, much greater reason for existence. Lord, we, your children, are absorbed into the din of this dark world, our vision obscured by gold-rimmed glasses. We're only basically just seeing the temporal. We can see no future greater than a big house, a powerful German machine, a beautiful family, and an existence of cyclical paid slavery. We earn to spend our earnings in going back to earn more. All the while, we sing of Zion. All the while, we are singing of Zion. All the while, we cry, redeemed. Redeemed from what? From the guilt of sin, only to continue living for its pleasures. From the burden of shame, to live for the glory of pride. Lord, where is thy spirit that dwelt in Abraham's breast and sealed him thine? Israel has forgotten her calling, the calling to live above the world, to scale the utmost high, to catch a gleam of glory bright. Could we but stand where Moses stood and see the promised land, none of this world's pretended goods could ever charm us more. For solid joys and lasting pleasures, none but Zion's children know. Lord, I protest. My captors want me to sing songs of Zion in a strange land, I protest. They want me to sing of a world that is passing, I protest. To rejoice of the temporal, I protest. I will occupy, for you command me to, but this is not my home. Let me never forget that I have seen a better land, and it has spoiled this one for me. Psalms 137:1-7 says, how shall we sing the songs of Zion, of the Lord in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, and then I added, city of my God, city of my Lord, city of my love, dwelling of my King. Let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chiefest joy. Lord, I don't want to be so heavenly minded that I am of no earthly good, but God forbid that I should be so earthly minded that I should forget that I am a stranger and a pilgrim here. And so, son of my soul, O Savior dear, it is not night if thou be near. Oh, may no earthborn cloud arise to hide thee from thy servant's eyes. Abide with me from morn till eve, for without thee I cannot live. Abide with me when night is nigh, for without thee I dare not die. Be near and bless me when I wake, ere through the world my way I take, till in the ocean of thy love I lose myself in heaven above. With deep love, yours. And so I was just thinking, what brought me personally out of that cycle was the realization that, and I was telling Scout this a while ago, there's a time when Scout and I were in school, we genuinely couldn't see past finishing, we couldn't even see graduation. We were so sure